These fit me like a glove, excuse the pun. Good morning YouTube. Now I'm not jumping on the Temu bandwagon, but I did want to show you a few items that I've purchased over the last year that I use a lot, that were very inexpensive, and I think people that are getting into wildlife photography or airsoft or anything like that, this is a good place to start. Like I said, very inexpensive. Now anyone that knows me knows I love a little bit of camo, especially when it comes to my wildlife photography. So it's just a few things to show you. I'm not going to say without further ado, because I hate that as a saying, so I'm just going to go straight to item number one, which is a pair of winter gloves. Winter gloves, there we go. Right, they are a neoprene Velcro cuffed. They are of a kind of Realtree-esque kind of print. These fit me like a glove, excuse the pun, but they really do fit like a glove. I've worn them down to 0 degrees and have found them more than warm enough. They have a rubbery honeycomb kind of rubber print from fingertips to wrist. They've carried a tripod a lot over last winter and into this winter, and I haven't got any signs of wear on it at the moment. I'm sure they will. My 60 quid Rab pair of wind stoppers are showing signs of wear, so I'm not expecting them to last forever. They do have finger with Velcro and thumb with Velcro openings, so I can access my camera, or if you shoot for your rifle. And I do usually wear my black wind stoppers by Rab, but they don't have the finger or thumb release, which I've found. Although when my finger and thumb are out, it gets very cold. But I have found them to be actually quite invaluable. Is that the word I'm looking for? Can't do without. Not now that I've had this as an option with gloves. I'd struggle to go back to non-fingertippy removal gloves. These are ever so slightly kind of fleecy, fluffy lined. They're not over the top. I like that about them. You can still feel what you're doing through them. They do them in several different kind of prints. This is their kind of camouflage Realtree-esque woodland print. They do them in various digital camos, coyote finishes, olives, etc, etc. But these are the ones that I've purchased. The reason why I bought them, in fact I've actually bought another pair since I bought these, because I thought, just in case I lose one, or one tears or breaks or whatever, I wanted to make sure that I had some, especially at the price of £4 and a penny. Now obviously with Temu you can often have to hunt up and down until you find the same gloves on there, maybe a dozen times at different prices, so do shop around while you're on there. Next item is buff style cotton polyester stretchy neck scarf. This has been worn in the summer and winter. Summer to kind of absorb the sweat, and obviously the winter to keep my neck a little bit warmer. Now this was worn pretty much all the time on our Scandinavia trip for 3 months, when I was out filming the muskoxen and trying to find the, spent the day looking for wild reindeer in Sweden. There is a video, I shall put it into this video. So, but this I have found to be quite enough for camouflage to cover your face, especially if you bring it right up over the top of your hat, covers your nose, and it just hides your details. It hides the details of your face, etc. Allows you to breathe through it, and for me it's my stubby beard that runs through it, so it acts a little bit like Velcro, but not enough that it hurts. But this I have found, especially when I've been watching wildlife. It doesn't get in the way. I do love it. I do love a buff. I have loads of buffs, been buying them over the last 20 odd years. But this one was really inexpensive. And I thought I'd give it a go. And it turns out it's actually very nice quality. Especially for 88p. This is another item that I've ordered a couple of. There's so many different types of print on Temu. You can knock yourself out. This stuff is so cheap that if you have any interest in any outdoor sports, they do all of these in, you know, plain colours. If you were just into mountaineering and don't want it to be in camouflage, you can still go on there and find the exact same items, but just in plain colours. Really can't go wrong. Next item. A fairly thin fleece hat. Beanie, woolly hat. I didn't want anything too thick. I don't really get that cold on the head. But when I do, it's nice to just have a really small, fine fleece to cover. Now unfortunately, because I've got a bit of a Velcro head, because I've cut it recently, I've taken my glasses off. This is a large, and I don't know how big my noggin is compared to other people, but I love the fact there's enough to sit flat on my head. It covers my ears. They're not great if I wear glasses, but if I'm on the camera, I'm not using my glasses anyway. I'm not using the glasses for my binoculars, and I'm not using my glasses for the eyepiece of the camera, so I tend to not wear them when I'm out photographing. Taking it off's not so easy. Velcro. So this is a 100% polyester, and like I said, this was a large, so I don't know whether I've got a large noggin or not, but it fits like the proverbial glove, I guess. That was £1.96. So I don't even think, so we're still under a tenner for those three bits. Next thing, shorts. You can probably see the light through them, I'm not sure. But these are a very thin, stretchy pair of shorts. Literally just a real tree type print. These are like my summer, my wife and I like to call them squidgies, just like things you wear around the house. And now I'm going to choose a finish of pattern. Why wouldn't I go for this? The other reason for buying these is that I have a camouflage kind of ghillie suit that I'll often wear, especially during the summer. And I've got a long sleeve wicking t-shirt and now a pair of shorts that I can wear underneath it, because in the summer it's too hot to wear the ghillie suit. Although it is a mesh ghillie suit, it's too hot to have full trousers. Although I might do, which you'll see in my next purchase there. But these have got pockets, elastic waist. Not much more to really say about them, but they were £4.82. So why wouldn't I buy them for £4.82? Nice for the summer. Wore them most of last summer, to be fair, and wore them out with my ghillie suit a fair few times. Next thing is a longer pair of tracksuit trousers. These are very stretchy. They have an elastic cuff, ankle cuff. They are, I don't know what you want to say material wise. It might tell me. Let me have a look. Made in China, 100% polyester. These I've been wearing for the last 2 weeks. These are, again, what my wife and I like to refer to as squidgies. They're for around the house. They're a thin, kind of stretchy, fleecy-ish kind of material. They've been very comfy. Whether I wear these out for photographing, I'm not sure. I think possibly I will. And if I do end up using them going out photographing, I will buy myself another pair to wear inside the house. It's mainly my top half that I worry about when I'm out photographing wildlife, being the camouflage, because often 9 times out of 10 I'm on my knees or squatting, so I tend not to worry too much about my bottom half. But these are going to be stretchy, comfortable and camouflaged, so I may well wear them. They were £9.82, under a tenner. There's not many tracksuit trousers you can buy for under a tenner. I'm a 34 waist, these are a large. There's loads of extra. They have pockets, not quite sure why they're white lined, but it doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant. I think these were a 31-inch leg, I'm a 28-inch inside leg. Like I said, I've worn these for a couple of weeks now. They've been washed once. They've washed absolutely fine. I'm sure they'll probably fade a bit over time, but they're mainly for around the house, so I don't really care. Can't go wrong for under a tenner. Right, let me move these out of the way. Next thing, just on a daily basis, not that it makes much difference to my photography as camouflage, but it is a camouflage mobile phone cover for my iPhone 14 Pro, I think I'm on. And it's just a rubbery, shock resistant, fingerprint proof cover, military printed. The bit of metal is on the back, so it sits on my magnetic holders that I have in the van and on my laptop. That was £1.59, and if you're going to pay for a mobile phone cover that's going to be shock proof, why not just pay £1.59 for it? Right, last but not least, this turned up the other day, which is what prompted me to make this video on this camouflage stuff from Temu. Now the main reason for this video is that when I was first into photography for wildlife and I was purchasing this kind of camouflage Realtree printed stuff, it literally was kind of Realtree and Mossy Oak was the only two kind of companies you could buy, and they were expensive. All the camouflage clothing was expensive, so a lot of us just used the kind of army surplus British kind of DPM camo. But with internet and eBay and Amazon and all these other kind of outlet stuff has just become cheaper and cheaper, and a lot of it is absolute rubbish, should I say, for want of a ruder word. And there's a few things I've bought that have only been a few quid that I don't even bother. I haven't bothered with because they've been real tosh, and for a couple of quid I've just chucked them in the bin. But if you're just getting into wildlife photography and you want a bit of camouflage gear, it really has been the cheapest place I've found for some half decent items. Now this turned up the other day. I think it's designed for shooting. It's a belt with a couple of kind of front pocket pouches. I don't think I'm going to use the big front pocket pouches. Really, they're just like a black plastic, smells plasticky, kind of bellowy pouches. I mainly bought it because I wanted the large back pouch, which is Velcro and enough to stick poncho, tarp, my ghillie suit, which if I'm going out and I'm just carrying my camera and I want to carry my ghillie suit, maybe a bottle of water, I don't want to be stuck down with a rucksack. I think I would probably take these two big pouches off and just have this either on my side or around my backside. So it's mainly for that pouch that I bought it for. I can't tell you whether it's going to be great or not, but it was this purchase that prompted the video on all the other good parts. But this was £9.64p, so I don't think you can really go wrong. It is just the standard kind of 2-inch black webbing strap with the standard clip buckle. It's going to do the job. Whether I even use that belt, I might just slip this onto a different belt that I have. We'll see, time will tell. But this will start getting used when the weather starts getting nicer. But the purpose of the video was just to show that there are some very actually not bad quality items from Temu that will get you camouflaged for wildlife photography. But that's pretty much it. I'm not sponsored by Temu in any shape or form. I just wanted to spread the word that there's so many videos on YouTube about Temu where they are doing haul videos, and I guess I would, and give an honest review of stuff. But my video is based around all the camouflage stuff that I've purchased. Now they do have a fair bit of camouflage stuff on there. Everything from ghillie suits to ponchos, rucksacks, pouches, clothes, and I'm sure over time I'll be purchasing some more items. And if I think they're good, then I shall do a video on them. If I think they're poor, I probably won't. I like to have happy videos where I'm saying something's good, rather than just kind of putting it down on stuff. But I've all of that that's there. I think there's like 30 quid's worth, and that's trousers, shorts, gloves, hat. There's some bargains to be had if you look around. Now when you're on Temu and you find these items, it's always worth having a bit of a scroll down, because that item will often be for sale many times at different prices. So keep scrolling. I know it takes a bit of time, but keep scrolling and you find yourself a price that you're happy with. Well, that's it. If you've liked today's video, then give it a thumbs up. If you don't subscribe and you'd like to, that would be great, because it helps the algorithms, it helps the channel grow. I'd love to hear what items other people have bought, whether it's from Amazon, eBay, Temu, that's been inexpensive, camouflage, that's helped you with concealment for wildlife photography. If you've got something to say, I'd love to hear it. If you've got any questions, also just stick them in the comments below. I will promise I will read and answer every question. I hope it's been of use. I hope it's been helpful. Hope it set you on possibly a shop spend spree. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.